I used to work at a sex shop. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy Nobry and this is the Izzy Nobry Show. So way back in 2009, I found myself looking for work in the city of Calgary. So one day somebody I used to work with years previously called me out of the blue to say that she found a job for me. And the job was at a sex shop / adult toy and video rental place where she happened to work. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is there a Super Nintendo controller on my desk? That's to play emulators. But the other thing you're probably thinking is, how come there's still people renting videos, let alone renting porn videos? You can watch that shit on the internet for free. Surprisingly, there's still a market for people who rent pornography. And no, it's not all elderly people. There's still a decent amount of people who go out to stores to rent videos of people going into each other. I think it's because as a species, we're more used to the shopping experience, going into a place, picking up the thing and looking at the back to see if the thing features the things that you're into. I don't know, but we did get a fair amount of people who came to rent DVDs. Mostly the store's bread and butter was the toys. And this is the weirdest thing for me to say out loud, but I am probably, out of everybody I know, the straight guy who knows the most about dildos. We're gonna let that sink in for a moment. You have to know about what you're selling. So for the first couple of weeks, all I did was hands-on dildo training. That sounds even worse now that I said it than it did in my head. Basically, we went through the store and picked up some of the items, opened the box, and kind of went over like shapes and sizes and what's preferred for what kind of act, and no return policy. People that fight us on the return policy a lot. Surprisingly, people would come to my store, I'm not making this up, people would come to our store with fucking dildos, which have already been put in or dipped into all kinds of unmentionable places in the human anatomy. They'd bring them inside grocery store bags. I am serious. I'm not making this up. They'd bring him to the counter and say, hey, there was some kind of problem. This is below satisfactory. Can I get my money back? And the answer was obviously no. But people actually did try to return fucking used dildos. It's insane. I think Walmart got people used to the idea that they can just return anything they want for whatever reason they want. And that's fine if you bought like a computer chair or a TV. Not so much for a butt plug, you know what I mean? So yeah, I had to learn about all that stuff, and we'd go around the store, pick up a certain item, open the box, and kind of, okay, this is where the battery goes in, and people use it for this or that. Let them know not to do this or that. That was the other thing it blew me away. A lot of people came into my store asking questions about sexuality, like old ladies who haven't been married for a very long time asking about like, what about this, and do you do this, and it was really f***ed up. It was a very interesting 3 years of my life. I worked the overnight shift, so that's when the really weird people would come out asking for the weirdest fucking things. So I had one guy ask me if we rented blow-up dolls. And again, and you might be thinking it was supposed to be like maybe for a gag, which that's fucked up enough on its own, but it wasn't a gag. He actually wanted to rent one to use. There was one time when a guy picked up I don't think there's a scientific name for it, a pocket pussy, which is basically exactly what it sounds like, and made love to it in my store. I was helping a customer. That's so f***ed up. I was helping a customer, and I walked over where he was afterwards. The customer had already left, and the guy had left, and there it was, the scene of the crime. A poor, defenseless pocket pussy was deflowered in the middle of my store. That's about the time when I decided it didn't pay me enough to have to deal with this aspect of human nature. Thank God something must have spooked the guy. Maybe he realized that masturbating inside a store was probably not the best idea in the world, so he didn't finish, let's say, and the store wasn't messy or anything like that. Again, thank God. I think I used like 5 garbage bags. Like I picked up a garbage bag, put it over my hand, then another one, then another one, then another one, then put a whole bunch of garbage bags in my other hand and kind of like balled the whole thing up and threw it in the dumpster. We had people try to steal shit all the time, and a lot of it I think were people who were embarrassed to actually bring the items they wanted to the counter. Working at that sex shop was probably one of the weirdest things I ever done in my life for money. You get to know a lot of really weird people. You get into a lot of weird situations. There was one time when these two guys were creeping me out like crazy, and I thought they were gonna rob me. When you work overnight by yourself, that's something that's always in the back of your head. This creepy guy is gonna rob me. That's what you think, right? Turns out the guy who was creeping me out wasn't trying to like case the joint or anything. He was actually working up the courage to ask me out, which he did. I wasn't even mad. I was flattered. As a guy who wears fucking video game shirts, that's not the kind of thing that I deal with on a regular basis. People hitting on me. I was like, yo, dude, I am flattered, but not my thing. I'm really sorry. And then there were guys who didn't get the hint. There were guys, and I'm talking about several different guys who tried this, who'd come up and say, hey man, don't take this the wrong way. I'm married, I'm not gay or anything, but I'm trying to like be open to some stuff, and can you like point me where the really good gay porn is? And I'd be like, hey man, I'm probably the worst person that could help you with that. That is not my thing, so I don't really know what the good stuff is. And you'd think that would like, okay, the guy gets it, that I'm not into that. But they would actually insist, like, oh, yo, dude, I'm not gay, okay? You got this all wrong. I just want you to show me where the really good man-on-man videos are. And I want you to go there with me to help me pick a good one. That's all it is. And I'd be like, okay, I totally see what you're saying. I work here. I'm supposed to recommend things for the customers, but that's not what I'm into, so I can't really tell you what's the good stuff. I would know the good gay porn from the bad gay porn. It's not my thing. I'm not gay. And the guy would go, dude, what part of I'm not gay don't you understand? I'm not gay, man. I just want you and I to go pick some good gay porn like bros. Guys just wouldn't get it. It was hilarious. A little bit creepy that they wouldn't take the hint, but hilarious nonetheless. So between people trying to return used dildos, learning my way around butt plugs and oil-based lube and remote control vibrating panties, which is totally a thing if you didn't know, masturbation technology has come a long way. It's incredible. It was definitely a very interesting job. Not a lot of transferable skill sets. I can't put in my resume that I totally understand like what's the good brand of edible panties. I work in healthcare now. It's not gonna be impressive in my resume, but I want you to tell me what your craziest job was. Put it in the comments down below. Anyway, I'm Izzy and I'm done.